Hey, beggars can't be choosers. This is one of those that riles me up and we have to be really careful with. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma. Today, let's talk about it's a proverb and the expression, the idiom, beggars can't be choosers. And why I say we need to use this one with great caution and great care. This is one of those things that is so ingrained in our society and in our world that it can be used for great power, for great good, but it can also be used for great evil. This has been around, this expression, and what it means has been around since the mid-1500s. And anything that's been around for hundreds of years obviously impacts us as a society, us as people and human beings in general. Beggars can't be choosers means that, needy people just have to take what they can get regardless of quality because they don't have any choice. And unless they can afford to pay for it themselves or buy it or use resources that they have created and accumulated themselves, they just have to take what they can get. The whole belief that you just have to accept what's given out to you. You just have to accept the way the world is. You just have to accept what comes your way is absolute and total poppycock. It makes me crazy that we as a society with this, it's such a lack and scarcity mentality based belief that it drives me nuts. And I suppose I shouldn't get nuts about it, but it does, because most of our businesses and most of what we do and most of the problems that we solve for people with our businesses, although we're trying to solve them for the good, they're all predicated on this belief of lack and scarcity, and that you just have to take what you can get, and that you're going to miss this opportunity if you don't take advantage of it now. And that if you've got the money, you can have the solution to any problem in your life. But if you don't have the resources or the money or the wherewithal to buy the solutions, you're just SOL. We see it in the medical industry. We see it in the government. We see it in any kind of programs or roads or infrastructure or education. It is so ingrained in our society that if you got money, you get it, what you want. If you don't, you just have to take what you can get, right? Take what you can get. It drives me nuts. Now, don't think in any way, shape, or form that I believe in socialism or any of that crap, because I totally don't. But I do believe we all have personal power and personal responsibility and personal control over our choices and over the things that happen to us and how we respond to them. Do we have to just take what we can get and accept everything that comes our way? Well, it depends on your situation. The less power and control you have over your current situation in your mind is how much you're going to have to just take what comes your way and accept it. How many of us have worked in jobs that we absolutely positively frickin' hated? If you've got your own business and you're building your own business, chances are at one point you might have had a job, or the fear of having to get a job, or had a job that was terrible and stifled who you really are and what you love to do and how you like to serve in the world. Beggars can't be choosers. Boy, this one just really trips my trigger. Again, any expression that's been around for so long, it gets ingrained in our culture. It gets ingrained in our beliefs. And even if you don't believe that, you've heard it or you felt it from other people so much that it impacts us too, or you too. I know it impacts me because I've heard that. I believe that. I've been in situations where I felt like I didn't have any control, or I didn't have but like one or two choices. Okay, either I do this bad thing or that bad thing. I get to choose between these two things that are both feel bad to me. Not bad things like illegal or anything, but I can stay married or I can get divorced. Both seems kind of bad to me, right? I can go with this vendor because there's only 3 vendors for this particular thing and they're all bad, or I can create it myself in-house, which costs more money, but I could have more control over it. There's all these situations and all these choices, and we think that we have limited options, but the truth is resources are unlimited. Is an exact type of resource maybe not in abundant supply? Guess what? There's always another resource. There's always another way. There's always another possibility. There's always different ways of doing absolutely anything we can imagine. We just haven't imagined it yet. So this whole lack and scarcity mentality, although we create it as marketers and business owners, it's just made up, right? We just make it up. So we have to make sure that we're making up and treating people in a way that serves them, not in a way that is a disservice to them, not in a way that makes them feel like they have to be beggars, that, hey, if you miss this opportunity, you're screwed forever. Yeah, you might miss this particular opportunity, this round of this thing, but if you missed it, then the timing wasn't right for you, so you didn't really miss it. Beggars can't be choosers. Boy, the whole limiting beliefs and the lack and scarcity that's around this, it just is mind-boggling to me. You know, it presupposes, this expression in and of itself presupposes scarcity. It presupposes that we have no choice. It presupposes and assumes that, you know, you have to give up your personal power just because you have a current lack of resources of some type in your current situation. Everything is always changing, right? So your current situation is never your forever situation unless you choose to make it so and let it be that way. So what do you think of this? Beggars can't be choosers. How can you use this in your business to, well, knowing that people believe this, how can you use this to make your products and services more available to people? How can you use it to not use scarcity in a bad way, but in a good way to get people to act in their own best interest? How can you use it to separate out the people that you shouldn't be working with because your solution is and is not for them? Not solely based on, do they have the money right now? Are there creative ways that you can help them find the resources, or that they can be resourceful to be able to take advantage of your product or service or your solution to their problem? That's it. I'm done ranting. Go out, make it an awesome day, but think about these things and how you can use them in an ethical, moral way, in a way that's good for the betterment of the world, not that just takes advantage of the world and builds on people's natural sense of lack and scarcity and not enough and not feeling good enough, because that's the last thing we want to do. All right, catch you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.